Can we take our seats, please, so we can get started? Yeah. Can I ask Justice Ramson and Minister Gopal to step forward? Thank you. Honorable Minister of Culture, Youth and Sport, Honorable Charles Ramson, Justice Charles Ramson, former Attorney General, former Minister Nanda Gopal, Regional Chairman Daniel Siram, Honorable Members of Parliament, His Worship, the Mayor, of course, the man of the moment, Dr. Shivnarine Chanderpaul, and we want to welcome Mr. Ganga, Mr. Morrison, and all of you wonderful people. On behalf of the executive members and myself of the Everest Cricket Club, thank you for joining us this afternoon, a busy Friday afternoon for everyone. We're here for a very simple ceremony to rededicate our all-weather practice facility in the name of Dr. Shivnarine Chanderpaul. I would not be telling any tales if I say that the executive and I know every blade of grass, every nut, every bolt under this facility. The history of batting cages at Everest go back to 2015, and I acknowledge past President Rajesh Singh, who along with the Guyana Cricket Board decided to construct two batting cages on this very spot. And in 2019, that was completed. We are at the elements here at Everest. Televisions last 18 months to 2 years. They get corroded, we have to replace them. Hinges, metal, it's a challenge for us. And so, like wind, rain, and salt air, we saw on the 25th of December, 2022, John Ram Singh invited one of our national players to practice. And when she showed up, the batting cage was flat on the ground. December 25th. High winds, rust, and the executive and I said, Guyana is an oil society. We can't build back the same. We have to build for an oil economy. Let us let our imaginations go wild. Mr. Buddy Rahman, Buddy, way at the back, one of our executive members, General Marine, his vision was always to cover this area and make it into a practice facility. So when it collapsed, we looked at the project, and on the 11th of February, we sent a letter to Republic Bank. And the next day, I got a message saying that Republic Bank will finance the entire project. So those of you who say Republic Bank takes long to approve your loans, within 24 hours, in fact, it was a Friday around 12 that I got a call, and I said, definitely I have to go to Masjid. And Republic Bank gave the go-ahead in principle, they will fund this project. The project was $10.485 million, and they undertook to do all of it. It was supposed to be a facility for 4 lanes, 40 by 80. And then stepped in Mr. Canagan and said, let us cover the entire thing. So it ended up being 60 by 90, costing $13.8 million. And this is what you see here today, $13.8 million complete. Everest has a few mottos. One of them is Everest never rest. And that's long before Rajesh and I. It's way before past President Ramson would know that. And recently we said, Stephen, it's better to barter and buy rather than borrow and beg. And so a lot of what you see here is as a result of giving, bartering, the goodwill we have, and the excellent revenue generating property here. So we got the nod in February, but it took 6 months of negotiating with Republic Bank. They squeezed every single penny out of the concessions they would get. And I'm confident if Janelle, the marketing manager, did the present value of the stream which Republic Bank will save, it's going to be much more than $10.485 million. It's excellent value in exchange for a necessary facility which the club needed. And so today we are here for the commissioning of the Shivnarine Chanderpaul all-weather facility. It initially was the Shivnarine Chanderpaul practice facility. So what does the facility have? The facility has 5 batting lanes. It has lights. And so at any one time, our members can come and use this facility. Chris, please. Let's welcome the owner of the Antigua Falcons, Chris Prasad. This, Stephen, this looks like CPL, Republic Bank CPL. And the facility actually is the Shiv Chanderpaul all-weather facility powered by Republic Bank. Powered by Republic Bank. So it has lights. Our members could come and put on a light if they want 2 lanes. We do well with power here. We sell power to the grid from our solar generation. And GPL may not want to tell you this, but we have a credit of over $600,000 with GPL. We don't pay electricity. And we have one other thing I want to mention. Everest is not a cricket club. It's a sport club. The under 15 junior table tennis champion comes from Everest. The number 5 seed in the country come from here for table tennis. Last year, we beat the Georgetown club to get the title of champion club in squash. And recently, in a novice lawn tennis tournament, we got a runner-up spot. And the lawn tennis court is only back in action since September last year. Last month, we painted the pickleball court on the lawn tennis court. And we are still working with the youngsters to bring back the Everest Hikers hockey team. Bank of Guyana practice baseball to the right. And all those happen right here at Everest. Stephen, one of the biggest benefits you'll bring is the young people. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you pass Everest, no less than 40 kids are practicing a sport right here at this ground. And I tell them, not everyone will be a Chanderpaul, not everyone will be a Kevin Sinclair, but developing that sporting skill will serve you for life. For life. So on behalf of a very grateful club, Stephen, and Republic Bank, we thank you for your very important contribution to the club and our young people. This time, let me invite His Worship the Mayor to say a few words. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Should I have to say that again? Good afternoon to you all. With all protocols already observed, special invitees, it would be remiss of me to not at least recognize the man of the moment, a legend, a famous cricketer that has done his lot for Guyana, the West Indies, and the world over. Shivnarine Chanderpaul. Give him a round of applause, sir. Shivnarine, as you all would know, or some call him Shiv, they have many different call names that they would use. But my relationship with him, maybe I saw one other person here who probably would have had, outside of his parents, such a long-standing relationship. I think it's Hiralal. Is he here? Yes, I think I saw him. Myself and Shivnarine would have had a long-standing relationship way back maybe over 40 years ago. I look like 40, right? But we had about 40 years relationship. Many would not know that Shivnarine started at DCC where I was a member then as well. And we used to open batting together. So even though he bat in the middle along the way, we also know his prowess as an opening batter. And it obviously was harnessed in those days at the Demerara Cricket Club, where he spent serious time. I never said this to him personally, but we all know Chanderpaul's ability and the price he put on his wicket. And there are times when we open him batting, we know he was a small pin size kind of a person. But so he never used to hit the ball in a major way. He used to, deflect it here, a little edge here, a steer here, and so on and so forth. So when the sheen come off the ball, the strategist or the captain or Mr. Atwell at the time, who was the president of the club, he used to say, send out a message, mentor, you gotta do something. Because he didn't hit the ball, so I gotta do something to be able to cause him to out. So from time to time, I used to call you down the crease and say, hey, sorry, I ain't gonna take the run. So he used to get run out. So he got run out a few times, but I never really told him that secret. That was something that we kept for a very, very long time because we had to get the bigger hitters in. He's grown to be one of the stronger hitters in the West Indies cricket. He would have played some phenomenal shots over the years, and he has done us extremely proud. So when I was first called by the speaker to be part of this occasion, I felt really honored. I felt privileged to be part of these proceedings and to be part of this significant commissioning or recommissioning. I believe that such commissioning, such homage that we pay to our legends, pay to our past cricketers, is very important. And I'm glad that Everest has taken that lead. I know I see the Honorable Minister here as well, who, outside of Chanderpaul, naming of this practice facility, there are many other facilities in Guyana that also need naming or need to carry a particular name. Maybe Chanderpaul might be one of those. Maybe another former cricketer might be one of those as well. So this commission in itself is one that I feel that it's important, it's significant, and that Everest has been doing wonders in treating with facilities, not only, like the president said, for cricket, but for squash. I think I was here maybe last year when they commissioned the lawn tennis facility. So it's really something that Everest has been doing. It's really something that the president himself has been leading by example with his executive in getting a lot of stuff done and making a lot of things possible. So I strongly believe that maybe other clubs in the city themselves should take a page out of the speaker's book and to maybe learn whatever he's doing right to make these kind of situations possible. So without further ado, I'd like to congratulate the Everest for taking the lead in this and to doing the wonders that they're doing for the game, not only for Georgetown, but also for Guyana. And without further ado, I would like to congratulate the executive and members of the club. So if you would join me, so to speak, in congratulating the president and executive of this club for taking the lead and making these facilities possible and in such a successful way. May you join me in congratulating them. To Chanderpaul, where this facility will be named, whom this facility will be named after. I wish him well in his other sojourn, in his bigger journey as a coach now and in other aspects that he will do in life. And I hope that we, outside of Chanderpaul, we choose to name many other facilities, not only for Chanderpaul, but for the many other cricketers that we have, former or otherwise, of this great country of ours. I thank you and may God bless.
And now for another young man from the southern part of the city, Alexander Village, the chairman of Region 4, Daniel Siram.
Honorable Minister Charles Ramsden, Honorable Speaker of the National Assembly, Mayor of Georgetown, former ministers of government, members of the private sector, special invitees, and of course, the most distinguished guest this afternoon, Dr. Shivnarine Chanderpaul. I bid you all a good afternoon, everyone. I do believe that most of what I had to say was already said between the Speaker and the Honorable Mayor, so therefore my speech should be very short at this point in time. But mainly three things I'd like to convey this afternoon, three brief points. Such facilities as these, they're needed right now. Guyana is Guyana is the fastest growing economy in the world, not only in the oil and gas sector, but in all sectors. Our sportsmen and women deserve the best facilities, not only private facilities, but in their public facilities. And I'm happy to see the Honorable Minister here, and I know he's doing very hard work out there in trying to get most of our public facilities in order. Being the chairman of Region 4, I can tell you it's not an easy job getting public facilities in order. You may think it's just a click of a finger, you can get a ground weeded, lights in place, lavatory facilities fixed, changing room fixed, clubs itself fixed, and then the other aspect of these facilities is the actual executives. That part fixes a whole other thing. So I join with my colleague, the Honorable Mayor, in congratulating the executives of the Everest Sports Club, as the Speaker said, right, and congratulating you in going forward in this stead. And likewise, I echo the same sentiments that all other clubs follow in such regards. These are the private clubs we're speaking about. Sports facilities can only add to the value of the sportsmen and women that we already have here, sharpening their skills to perform better on the national and international level. So definitely, we need more of them. My second point here is to congratulate Republic Bank. Private sector partnership in these projects is well needed. And I hope that the other sporting fraternities, not only cricket, can see how easy it is to get a loan process for free at a banking institution. So I personally would invite all four sporting facilities to write into Republic Bank and their sister banks, not leaving out ExxonMobil, as I see Alistair sitting here as well, asking them firstly for a loan and hopefully we get it for free. Thank you, Republic Bank. Private partnership is needed, and these clubs and sports facilities are driven by their members who are members of the private sector. And I congratulate these members in taking the time. Everyone is busy. Coming out of a post-COVID era was nothing hard, but it was nothing easy on any country. In Guyana, it wasn't easy on us, right? We had many difficulties, but through resilience at all levels of government, we were able to get through it, and here we are, being able to commission this wonderful facility. Hopefully, I think it's not the first of its kind, but I can see many more of them coming. My last point for this afternoon is saying that government support is needed, and government support is there, if I may say that abundantly, Honorable Minister. But you must remember that government support can only go as far as a certain way in terms of our limitation. So we ask that the private-public partnership be in place there. Again, not only for cricket facilities, but we have many other facilities that need upgrading in many other sporting realms. And I ask that you come and meet with us, both at the level of the municipality, at the region, where Minister Ramson sits in central government, so that we can partner to have these facilities further upgraded. My last and closing point this afternoon is echoing the same sentiments. As I sit here, I can see many of our streets, many of our health centers, schools, many of our sporting facilities needing to be renamed to our distinguished needed to be renamed by names of our distinguished Guyanese in all realms. Starting with Shivnarine Chanderpaul having this facility, I can only hope that in the near future we can have a car hoop facility, a Lance Gibbs facility, Alvin Kalicharan facility. And these are just the cricketers. We can go on to the other sporting realms in which we can find other distinguished Guyanese. And I look forward in that partnership. So I hope the mayor has some more streets we can rename. I'm sure at the level of the region and the other local authorities, we can find some streets, health centers, and schools. In closing, I'd like to say heartfelt congratulations again to the president and executives of the Everest Sports Club. You have done a fine job. Congratulations to Republic Bank in your kind gesture here, and we look forward to many more kind gestures, and please tell the other banks what you did so they can do it as well. And again, many congratulations and much success this afternoon. God bless you all. Thank you.
I want to join the regional chairman and make a plea to the mayor about naming some streets. I was born in a street in our boys' town called Hogg Street. Hogg, but you know, we say A for orange and O for apple. So you might start with Hogg Street, right? Yes. My mom had 8 of us. Shiv, Minister, bear with us. The Warriors have a serious strategizing session happening now. And a person broke camp to be here with us, and he has to go. But more importantly, he wanted to say a word to Shiv on behalf of the new, emerging, and permanent West Indies player. West Indies player, Warriors, Kevin Sinclair.
Honorable Minister, Honorable Mayor, Speaker of the National Assembly, special good afternoon to everyone. When I got the message and a call from Mr. Mansour, I felt so honored and privileged to be a part of something like this. Dr. Shivnarine Chanderpaul, I get that right. Dr. Shivnarine Chanderpaul, it's always something good to be a part when it comes to him. I had the opportunity to share dressing room with him, I don't know what year it is, but when I debuted for Guyana, he was the assistant coach. He and Eason Crandon was the coach. And he always was motivation to the team when it comes to batting, bowling, or whatever we have to do. He may not know this, but before I go, I have a little story for everyone here on him when it comes to cricket. But to come and be a part of something like this is something really special for me as well. I think I have a confession here as I speak. I always had wanted to join the Everest Cricket Club, but I never come and join because there wasn't constantly practicing at that time, so I ended up going with GCC because I always like to practice. But with facilities like this, I think I can definitely come. Yeah, so I think this is a good initiative. I must say, Republic Bank a well done job in terms of being on board with something like this. I think the young cricketers in Guyana and Everest young cricketers would really benefit from a facility like this here, and obviously me because I thinking strongly about joining. Yeah, so to Dr. Shiv, um, he's someone that done so much for West Indies cricket and Guyana cricket. And as a young player, I always say to myself that people in Guyana overall need to recognize the 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 things that people do for Guyana and West Indies cricket. I won't mention it at this point, but Dr. Shiv has done so much, and he inspired people like me. Yeah, to be honest, he inspired people like me to even be better because sharing just with him, hearing his talk about cricket every single time, I always, I was shy to be honest to go to him because he's a serious candidate when it comes to this cricket. Yeah, so to share just with him and learn so much from him is something really special. I think at age 20, that was something special. After watching him on TV, my grandfather would got me watching clips with him, showing me how he's bat all his left hander. But yeah, it was really special, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity to share the dressing room with him. And before I close, I just want you guys to open your ears to this story. So we was in Jamaica, Trelawney, regional 4-day competition. I think 2021. He was the assistant coach looking at the game, and his son was batting. I think was Mindley was the bowler, test fast bowler, but unfortunately he didn't bowl too many balls when he was called up for West Indies in Australia. He had I think a side, I think a pull on his leg or something like that. Because obviously he didn't climatize, he just had to go and rush into the game, bowling to Shivnarine Chanderpaul, Nick Toft. So I turn and look at Shiv. So here's Shiv. This boy is blind. This boy is not. He's not seeing. He's not seeing. Get your body behind the ball. This guy is blind. So, looking at that, that tells me he's someone who marks you hard, wants you to reach the top, and he not gonna settle for less. So that year, I opened my eyes and said, look, he's his son, but he still go hard on his son. So, for me, Dr. Shiv, it's a really honor and privilege to share the dressing with you, and I hope that I share many more moments with you on and off the field. And this facility to really serve something really great for youngsters in the future, and you're really an inspiration to all of us here in the West Indies. Thank you.
Kevin, I think you have to go. The coach just called again. So please, let's just excuse Kevin. Thanks for coming. Two quick mentions. This program was supposed to be chaired by national regional commentator John Ram Singh, who fell ill, and his staff didn't show up, so he pulled himself out to operate the cameras. And Everest, we like to honor our people when they're with us. Our media center is the John Ram Singh Media Center, and fully equipped, Darren, with fiber optic and everything, right? Yes. So John, thank you very much for coming out to live stream for us. And now, the man who made it all happen, the Managing Director of Republic Bank, Mr. Stephen Brell.
All protocols observed, I think you're being very generous that I'm the man who made it happen, and that's full credit really should be going to your team. We were just facilitators, you know. And I really have to thank John L., who got on board very early with your team to ensure we got it done. So, but it certainly is a pleasure to be a part of this very important occasion. Republic Bank and Everest have built a partnership and continue to build a partnership. So we value the partnership that we built, particularly to see it come to life in a facility of this nature. You know, as a cricket lover, it's also a little bit even more warming to my heart to know that we can be part of a facility like this for not only current cricketers, but future cricketers as well. This initiative really is, you know, a collaboration of private sector and the community of sport. At Republic Bank, the realization of a much-needed facility is there to encourage Guyana's youth development in the sport of cricket. While we are keen on investing in our communities and providing avenues for our nation's youths to be involved in meaningful activities, Republic Bank has consistently championed all sports. Sport development, as we see it, is a big component of our Power to Make a Difference sport program, which is essentially our corporate social responsibility program. It supports a range of sports, as the minister will know, that we have been working on other initiatives, and I think you might have got me in a little trouble by saying that we've given you approval in 24 hours. So I think he was being generous. Cricket is just one of the sporting disciplines we support at various levels, ranging from grassroots to the Republic Bank Caribbean Premier League. Cricket is not a game to us, it is a way of life, as we like to say. And that's why, again, you know, we're thankful for the Everest Cricket Club to giving us the opportunity to partner with yourselves. This project is it's not just a sponsorship, as you made mention, it is an investment. It's an investment for us, it's an investment for Guyana's cricket and sports going forward. We also commend the executive team that have worked very closely with us, ensured that the project met a lot of the guidelines that we follow and we believe in, and the level of professionalism shown by the Everett Cricket Club continues to impress us, and that ensures that we can continue to build on our long-standing relationship. What a most fitting gesture, though, that we recognize one of the greats, one of the West Indies greats and Guyana greats of cricket, and name the facility Dr. Shivnarine Chanderpaul. A cricketer that I grew up looking at on the TV. One thing that stood out for Shiv as a youngster growing up, watching him on TV, was his discipline. And I can't say that West Indies cricket had lots of discipline at all times, so that's something that certainly stood out for Shiv, for a youngster watching Shiv. And for that, I'm thankful. And I think, as we said, it's a great honor to have our name associated with your name on this facility. So all of Guyana continues to be proud of you. All of the West Indies, as a Trinidadian, I can say, is proud of you. So thank you again. Thank you to the Everest cricket team, the executive team. Thank you to all other partners in making this a reality. Republic Bank is truly honored to be part. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephen. The streamer is telling me the light is fading, so we'll have to speed up. Man of the moment, Dr. Shivnarine Chanderpaul.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, Minister of Government, Honorable Member of the Parliament, Member of Diplomatic Community, young aspiring cricketers, fellow Guyanese, sisters, brothers, friends. Look, I remember in the beginning when I came here and I had a chat with the President, who's the Honorable Speaker, about what is needed at these facilities, what is going to help the young players develop, and how are they going to get better. And mind you saying that he was already starting making changes to the ground. He's a man of action. He started to change the dressing room, started to make it bigger, put in more things, make it like a proper dressing room for teams that's coming from far away, international teams. Right, so he is a man with a foresight who could see what needed to be done, and he does not wait to someone come and tell him what to do or what not to do. So he makes sure that those things are happening. We had discussion about what could help young cricketers develop. And one of the things that was mentioned is the practice facilities, because I remember going on international tours, and whenever it's raining in Guyana, I don't have anywhere to practice. And I'm happy today that, with the sponsors from Republic Bank and all the other sponsors around, that we are able to put up these practice facilities here today, so the young cricketers of tomorrow can use these facilities and make themselves better. I know as a young player the struggles that I go through. And Alfred, Mayor, I was wondering why I used to get run out all the time. Thank you for clearing that up. Yeah, I remember those days. I used to play with DCC, and look, at that time, I didn't have much. I had to travel from Unity, come down here. Sometimes I only have the passage to come down and go back up, and I couldn't do it all the time. Sometimes I had to stay by friends and wherever I can to make sure that I'm in town to play cricket. So I learned it the hard way, and the young fellas are saying, yeah, I'm tough. I like to see things. I always want the best for them. I want to see them do better. I know the opportunity they get in today, right? And I know they can do better. They have more than what I had when I started, right? I used to stay by friends. I go from team to team. I had people used to take me to the cricket ground. Like, there's an Officer Gibbons used to ride a motorbike. I used to go with him to play East Coast Police. I played with East Coast Police for a long time until I was from 12 to 14 years old. I was at Elmore. Sheikh Mohammed saw me at Elmore and said, come play for GCC. I came down to GCC. I played GCC for a long time. Then I came back to Everest. I came to Everest first, and then I came back to Everest during all of this. And when I came back here, I was honored with a lot of stuff. And the Honorable Speaker make all these things happen. Even though I have the Minister of Sports sitting next to him there, I remember also playing a game with him, Everest A playing Everest B, and he just got a wicket, and I came into bat. So I said to myself, you know what, this is a good time to get a single and go to the next end, because if he gets me out, that's going to be a problem. So, experience, normally as a batter, I would play and let a few balls pass me, especially when I want to keep a bowler on and I don't want to take them off. I would play and miss a few balls and say, well bowl, young fellow, well bowl. But this time I said, no, boy, let me get off striking. Look, I'm happy that, for the turnout. I want to thank everyone for it. Thank everyone, the Honorable Speaker, the ministers, everyone in Guyana, for everything you've done for me. Everyone in Guyana, the support I got over the years from everyone, not one race. The entire Guyana will come out. Whenever we play in that border, every time I walked out, to bat at border, the roar that I will get when I go out there, I know I have to deliver something for the people. And thank God I was able to do so, right? I worked hard on my cricket. I spent a lot of hours. I spent hours and hours. Nothing comes easy. At times in my career that I thought it was gonna be like, relax, you could relax and go through the career, and it's gonna happen for you on the cricket field. It does not happen for you. You have to put in the work. I was not one of those players who was well gifted, but I worked hard over the years. That time I was getting out. When I batted, I go to England, getting out of the swingers. I would call everybody, the coaches, the physio, anybody who could feed the bowling machine. And I have them, they feed until their hands are tired. They're tired feeling balls in the bowling machine. Use one hand to the next. And every time they see me, they're looking to hide, but they can't. I catch them, right? But you have to spend the time. I know young fella these days, there's so much for them in cricket. There's a lot of money. As soon as you have some talent, you have a contract, right? I didn't have that, right? I didn't have all those things. The young fellas of today have all these things. So please make much of it. You have the opportunity, you have all these contracts, you have the people who helping you, you have a government now who's fully behind cricket, and you have a lot of sponsors, you have a lot of people around who's out there willing to help. Take that opportunity. Take it. Make the effort and put in the little time on your game. Your job is cricket. If your job is cricket, spend some time behind it. You can't expect to do minimum and expect maximum from it. It's not gonna happen. Like Ambrose would always say, it's not a light switch you can go and turn it on when you get out on the cricket field. It's not gonna happen. Spend the hours. I used to spend a lot of hours. People want to know, how come I'm 40 years old and I'm still #1 batter in the world? They want to know that, but they don't see the work I'm putting in behind the scene. Also, Brian in Trinidad, they don't even see what Brian does. Brian goes home in the morning after he probably go out, comes back in. 5 o'clock in the morning, he walks up to his home or drive up, put on his clothes and come and run around the savannah 5 to 6 laps, 7 laps sometimes. The savannah is 2 1/3 miles, right? I went wrong one time with him and I said, Brian, I can't go anymore. I have shin splints, right? I can't, and he's doing it 7 laps, right? People are saying, yes, he can bat for so long. He batted making 400, 500 runs. Yeah, but you don't see the work he's doing behind the scene. Then he'll go to the nets and bat when people not around, right? We do a lot of work. We do a lot of these things, right? This is things we want the young fella to know. Put in the little time. This is your job, right? This is your job. We have facilities to help you. And I know the government is putting in a lot more to help the young people of this country. This is what we need to do for our young people of our country. Instead of them getting into bad habits, bad company, we get them into sports. Get them to sports where we can help them. Look, it opens so many doors for you. Yes, I was not able to finish high school. I left school when I was 13 because I had to choose between cricket and school, and I chose cricket. So I had to do whatever it takes to make sure I make it in cricket, right? Because I gave up one for the next. Now you have that opportunity where you don't have to. Everything is in place for you. So grab it. My opportunity, when I got it, I make sure I grab it with both hands. You get in, the young players and young people of tomorrow have everything in front of them. Take it with both hands. And thank you all again for this opportunity and honoring me with this, Mr. Speaker, for this, to honor me with this practice facilities also. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Chanderpaul. The first 2 wickets, those turf there, he literally went on his knees with the glue. He shipped in the turf and he put it on himself for the first batting practice here. I don't want to stand between his speech and my dear friend, the Honorable Minister Charles Ramson.
Good afternoon, everyone. Honorable Speaker, I have to start off with acknowledging, I guess, my father in this situation, former Attorney General, and I don't think I've ever had to do that before. Nando, former Minister, Alistair, of course, Judy, Chris, I'll save the best for last, Stephen, Honorable Mayor, and Chairman of the Region, Advisor, C-Raj, and PS, and many of the other persons here that I'm unable to say everybody's name because there's just so many of you, but we're all here for the right reasons. Darren Ganga, I'd like to acknowledge you as well. We're all here for the same reason. This is not just the opening of a facility, as you know, as fantastic of the opportunity that it is to open a facility in addition for Everest or any community and sports club. Most of us here if not all of us here, we're really here to honor you, Shiv. At the bottom of our heart and at the bottom of our intention, that is really what we're here to do. You have given more to all of us than most people can describe in words and also can attribute to a nomenclature on a building or a facility or any single edifice that would exist in this country. The fact is that Shiv has been a cricketing genius for us. People underestimate what it takes to become a genius, and with the little that he just described, I remember when we played against each other, not on the same team this time. This time he was playing for GCC. He had the ability to trade clubs, and nobody had a problem with that. He was playing for GCC, and I was playing for Everest in a first division game in a T20 at DCC, Alfred. And it's funny that you said that. I mean, what I call a Freudian admission, sabotaging your own team members. We were playing there one evening, and you know, I was playing very well at that time, and I thought I had Shiv fairly well worked out in my mind. You know, we played on the same clubs, and sometimes when you're young and you think you got it covered, you think you can do anything, and Shiv took apart my bowling in the most poetic form that I've ever experienced, that afterwards I went up to him to congratulate him without a single shame whatsoever. And then I asked him for advice. And during that one question that I asked him for advice, he went into a full discussion that lasted for about a good 10 minutes or so about exactly what I could have done with the ball, and then started to move my fielders on the field in full, almost automaton mode, where every single movement on the field came like a machine. It was one of the most impressive experiences that I've had speaking to any cricketer ever. And you are a true legend of the game. And something that I would also say, in not to spoil the reason why we're here, but it's important that we also acknowledge some things. And one thing in particular is what was done and what should not have been done to you when you were not allowed to play your last few games so that you can become the leading record scorer for the West Indies without an explanation and without any of the persons who held positions at that time, without having any consideration for all of the decades and impact and the resonance that you've created throughout this society called the West Indies, this civilization called the West Indies. And I remember being part of a protest. I see Hiralal at the back there. He was the captain at of Everest. I'm not sure at that time, but he had captained me. A number of us, including the current president of the cricket board, all of us went outside of Providence and held placards because you were dropped unceremoniously from the team and not allowed to break the record that you duly deserve to hold. So that's the first reason that I wanted to just establish clearly that why everyone is here, not only because of the impressive work that the Honorable Speaker and the executives of Everest, that they've been doing to this ground. Every single year that you come to Everest, it just keeps improving. And what I can say is that, you know, Mansour, you say you're not good at begging. He said he calls it bartering, but that's just a new definition of begging. But he is very committed to seeing the development of this ground and the responsibility that he has, which he takes seriously. And I would like to commend you and all of the executives. And if you can just take a stand, all of the executives for the Everest Cricket Club, if you can please stand if you're here. And I couldn't not recognize as well Stephen and Janelle from Republic Bank, who I'm so happy, first of all, to learn that you have a 24-hour turnaround time. So I'll forbear my stoicism and extend my expectation of a response whenever we are requesting a partnership of a similar nature to 48 hours. Republic Bank has been doing a lot of work with the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sport and the government of Guyana. In fact, next week, Thursday, we're going to have a big event behind the Marriott for steel pan and jazz. But we've been doing a lot of work already. It's been a relationship that has been growing already and already starting to extend beyond doing work with the ministry too. So we're very pleased to be part of this and to see that you are expanding your reach. I'd like to also explain why the facility is important, not just this facility, but a facility of this nature is important. Guyana struggles a lot because we have extended rainy seasons. Shiv would tell you that for all of the cricketers who have made it in Guyana, they had to have had additional training opportunities when the rainy seasons came. And with Shiv, it was a community center in Unity. And in many instances around the country, it's a concrete track somewhere that they play cricket. But for us to really advance our capabilities today, it's going to have to be many more types of facilities like this. 2 years ago, or about a year and a half ago, we started a project at the National Stadium, which will be opened in another maybe month or two when we start to get the final touches done. I was waiting for CPL to conclude, because nobody pays attention to anything when CPL is in town. We also constructed, and we're now completing that construction of a very large facility that will allow us to train 365 days a year rain, shine, doesn't matter. And the key difference, other than it's more extensive, and that instead of having segments of translucent sheets here on the roof, ours is entirely translucent, but it goes for 160 feet in length. So you're able to get the full run up, and it's about, I think about 80 feet in width. But the key difference is that we have clay wickets. We have concrete wickets as well, but we also have clay wickets, which means that the training that they will get there, and this will be catering for more of the elite players, ones that make it to the counties, the national teams, the contract players, etc. They will be able to use that every single day of the week and never have to worry about rain. And I also want to speak about, just so that everybody is aware, that the investment that persons have been alluding to, we're currently building 5 stadiums across the country. But most importantly, those stadiums where the grounds have already been completed and the stadium lights have already been, international stadium lights have already been installed. Those grounds are as fast drying or even faster drying than the national stadium, which means that for all of the grounds that we have for the stadiums, rain will never affect the usage of those facilities. And that is extremely important for the development of cricket in the country. Also, we've invested in 400 community grounds in the last 4 years. And that is, Everest is one of them too. And that is really where we're getting the opportunity to build sport, not just cricket, sport from the bottom up. And that is how you change the lives of young people in this country. School, obviously, and education goes without saying. That is the universal acceptable formula for changing the lives of young people without question. But community grounds in this country, in many instances, is the lifeblood of the community. And it also provides where the alternative for safe space to pursue your passions and to have leisure activities and coaching and organized sport and cultural activities, etc., they turn to hanging out with the gangs. And when they hang out with the gangs, they also do things that are not beneficial to their future. And then they get involved with narcotics and stealing, and they end up behind bars. And all of us suffer from that, because at some point or the other, if we don't provide an alternative, then either ourselves or somebody that we know, they suffer because of that. So it has been the most important bit of investment that we've been making at the community level, at the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sport, and we've seen how that's really impacted tens of thousands of young people across this country. So I'm extremely pleased. In fact, not just pleased, Stephen, I'm privileged just like you, just like every single person here, honored to be here today to share in the commissioning of this facility, something that was a vision of the Everest Cricket Club and the leadership of Manzoor. It's a privilege to be here today to share this experience with you, Shiv. We will never be able to say enough thank yous for all that you have done for so many people without you even knowing it. In 1998, when India came down here in a formidable team, the man who was single-handedly responsible for delivering that win, series win over India, where he got the man of the match and a Suzuki man of the series, Suzuki XL something. I hope Suzuki sponsors are not here today. Not remembering the exact model. But that was a phenomenal moment. The cover drives through on some of the best bowlers in the world at that point was just phenomenal. And everyone here, we would have experienced that, and we want to relive that, and many people would have been inspired by that. So we're extremely grateful to be here today, and anything that we can continue to do to continue to show you that love and support, it will always be there. Thank you very much, and I wish you guys all the best.
Bear with us. We just have a few more minutes. I'm asking the manager to assist with some tokens of appreciation. First, Mr. Anand Sanasi, somewhere around, the former secretary of the Ghana Cricket Board. And I'd like to ask Rajesh, our past president of Everest. This practice facility started with Anand, who was then secretary of the Ghana Cricket Board, and Rajesh, then president of Everest. Rajesh is around? So Rajesh, please. So this is where it started with the two of them. Rajesh? You should have come here. KH Construction, Mr. Mahesh Haripal. I would like to invite Jonel to present this to our contractor. KH, I saw Mahesh somewhere around. We squeeze every ounce out of him to ensure and Mahesh, just stand here again. Young Construction, his partner. No. So he will give it to his partner, Young Construction. I want to call Colonel Murli, our resident engineer, former Army Corps of Engineers, now building homes for men on mission, to receive this on behalf of his very good friend, GSK Excavators. Now, GSK Excavators is a guy, once you call him and you want any type of work for Everest, if he has to work around the clock to deliver it, he does. He's better known as Vibert. Mr. Mayor, present this to Mr. Murli so that he can convey it to GSK Excavators. One night he called me at 1 o'clock in the morning and said, I found the pitch mud and I'm delivering it now to Everest. You have to open the gate. We got quite a few of these to go. Janelle, please. And let me invite a former president of Everest, Justice Ramson, the young lady who executed this project on behalf of Republic Bank. You receive it. This gentleman wears a lot of hats. He has been on our executive for a while, and he also works at Republic Bank. Let me invite Daniel, the regional chairman CRAM, to present this token to Mr. Javed Khan. There is a gentleman who has been dedicated to ensure this facility is commissioned, and he has been here day and night over the past 4 months. Mr. Ian McPherson. Ian, and I want to invite Minister Ramson to present this to Ian, who literally has been here ensuring that we can commission this over the past 4 months. I'm looking for Kevin Samad. He's not here, but I'll have to ask Mr. Murli to come collect it on his behalf. Kevin is one of our senior engineers and has always been here to help with advice. He and Colonel Murli, they're now constructing the internal drainage with some pump at this time. And Judy, please do the honors for us. I don't see the gentleman here, but I will ask Jerry. Jerry is not Chinese, he's Guyanese. And I'm asking Nanda, China Variety, he's representing China Variety, who has made a lot of contributions in nets. And Jerry received this for Mr. Chue Ganga. Nanda. Sorry, in fact, Mr. Chue Bian, he's around somewhere. Where's Bian? Check. Sorry, Jerry. So Mr. Chue is a life member. He's Guyanese of Everest and has been instrumental in procuring at cost the turf, the nets, and so forth. And now let me ask Stephen to step forward and ask Shiv and Minister to present to Republic Bank our token of appreciation. So we've had a manager here for the last 5 years, and she has 12 executive to contend with. I don't know how she survived 5 years at Everest, but as the most senior Everest person here, Justice Ramson, there's a token. Please present to Ms. Krista Norton, our manager. We have two others, our curator, Albert Das, and his assistant, Mr. Sian Ya, who have been round the clock here, but had to leave earlier today. Sian is here? He's here. Okay. Mr. Ya, Sian? Mr. Mayor, please do the honors. Our assistant curator. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for coming. I'll ask you to join Stephen, Dr. Chanderpaul, Minister Alistair, Judy, for the symbolic cutting of the ribbon to commission the facility. Chris. Yes.